Kombucha. It's bubbly, it's tangy, and it's good for you. This fermented tea drink is more than just a trendy beverage. It's a fun and rewarding experience to brew at home. Don't be intimidated by the fermentation process. With a little patience and this simple guide, you'll be sipping your own homemade kombucha in no time. The process is easier than you think. It's about creating the right environment for healthy bacteria and yeast to flourish. They transform sweet tea into a delicious, tangy, and probiotic-rich drink. Ready to dive in? Let's brew. Before we begin, let's gather our kombucha brewing essentials. It's important to have everything ready before you start. Don't worry, you won't need any fancy equipment, just a few basic items that you might already have in your kitchen. You'll need a SCOBY, which stands for symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. This is the heart of your kombucha brewing process. This is the mother that will ferment your tea, transforming it into delicious kombucha. You can get a SCOBY from a friend, online, or at some health food stores. It's quite accessible. Next, you'll need starter tea, which is already fermented kombucha. This helps kickstart the fermentation process. This introduces the right bacteria and yeast to your brew, ensuring a healthy fermentation. Of course, you'll need tea. The type of tea you choose can affect the flavor of your kombucha. Black or green tea works best. These teas provide the necessary nutrients for the SCOBY. Avoid flavored teas or those with added oils, as they can harm the SCOBY and affect the fermentation. Finally, grab some sugar, a large glass jar, a breathable cloth cover, and a rubber band. The sugar feeds the yeast, and the cloth cover allows air to flow while keeping contaminants out. That's it, you're ready to start brewing. Let's brew! Today we're going to take you through the exciting process of brewing your very first batch of kombucha. First, brew a pot of strong tea using 8 cups of water and 4 to 6 tea bags. The type of tea you choose can affect the flavor, so feel free to experiment with black, green, or even white tea. Add 1 cup of sugar while the tea is still hot. This step is crucial as the sugar will serve as food for the SCOBY during fermentation. Stir until the sugar dissolves completely. Make sure there are no granules left, as this ensures a smooth fermentation process. Let the sweet tea cool to room temperature. Adding the SCOBY to hot tea can harm it, so patience is key here. Once cool, transfer the sweet tea to your clean glass jar. Cleanliness is essential to avoid any unwanted bacteria. Gently add your SCOBY and 1 cup of starter tea to the jar. The SCOBY is the living culture that will ferment your tea. The starter tea is crucial for the fermentation process. It helps to acidify the mixture, creating the perfect environment for the SCOBY. Cover the jar with a clean cloth and secure it with a rubber band. This allows the kombucha to breathe while keeping out dust and insects. This allows air to circulate while keeping out dust and insects. Proper airflow is essential for a healthy fermentation process. Now find a warm, dark spot for your kombucha to ferment. A cupboard or a pantry works well. The ideal temperature is between 70 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Consistent temperature helps in achieving the best flavor. Fermentation takes about 7 to 10 days. During this time, the SCOBY will work its magic, transforming the sweet tea into tangy kombucha. You can start tasting it after day 5. This allows you to decide when it's reached your preferred level of tanginess. The longer it ferments, the less sweet and more vinegary it becomes. Adjust the fermentation time to suit your taste preferences. Section 4. Bottling and flavoring. This is where your kombucha truly comes to life. Once your kombucha reaches your desired taste, it's time to bottle. This is an exciting step because it means you're almost ready to enjoy your homemade brew. Gently remove the SCOBY and 1 cup of the fermented tea and set them aside in a clean container. This becomes your starter tea for the next batch. This ensures you can keep the cycle going. Strain the remaining kombucha into airtight bottles, leaving about an inch of space at the top. This space is crucial for the next step. Now comes the fun part, flavoring. Get creative. This is your chance to experiment with different tastes and find your perfect blend. Add fresh fruit, ginger, or any other ingredients you love, herbs or juice. The possibilities are endless. Let your imagination run wild. Think about combinations that excite your taste buds. Tightly seal your bottles and let them sit at room temperature for 2 to 3 days for a second fermentation. This is when the magic happens. This creates those delightful bubbles that make kombucha so refreshing. Refrigerate your bottles to slow down further fermentation. This will also help preserve the flavors you've created. Section 5. Experiment and enjoy. Congratulations, you've brewed your own kombucha. Pour yourself a glass, savor the tangy, fizzy goodness, and celebrate your accomplishment. Remember, kombucha brewing is all about experimentation. Try different teas, sugars, and flavor combinations. The possibilities are endless. Don't be afraid to adjust the fermentation time to your liking. You'll soon discover your perfect brew. So go ahead, unleash your inner kombucha master.